What's up, people? It's your girl Adiola. Today we're starting with Tanzania because I am so mad right now. For several months we've been reporting on this show that the president of Tanzania does not believe in COVID-19. Well, he said that his country has prayed it away, and so he refused to put any measures, any safety measures in place whatsoever for COVID. He did not enforce social distancing or wearing masks until 4 weeks ago, and that's when he finally admitted that there's a COVID problem in Tanzania. Up until then, his administration has been concealing numbers when it comes to COVID, and they refuse to be transparent about the number of cases. Kenya had to close its border because apparently some Tanzanians with COVID were crossing the border and spreading the virus. And he even arrested so many journalists just for publishing that he's covering up COVID-19 in his country. Oh, by the way, even after admitting that there's COVID problem like 4 weeks ago, he still didn't wear a mask. We talked about that on the show. Remember, I was asking if anyone had seen a picture of him wearing a mask. And on top of that, he rejected COVID-19 vaccines in his country. He rejected the free one provided by World Health Organization, and he even announced that Tanzania will not be buying any vaccines whatsoever. I mean, instead of him telling people to observe social distancing and wear masks, or for him to get vaccines for his people, did you guys see the video of what they were doing to the soldiers to prevent COVID-19? Seriously? They packed that many people into one room. There's no way they wouldn't be inhaling each other's breath. I think they were steaming them or whatever. By the way, he declared like fasting and prayer, that people should go and pray about COVID instead of observing the necessary measures. Let's not forget that also last month, the finance minister in Tanzania was really sick. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks. People were saying that he had COVID. Some people were carrying rumors that he had already died of COVID. I don't know why they decided that in order to shut people off, they had to make him do a press conference. At the hospital, the man came out the hospital to address people just to tell them that he didn't have COVID, and he was coughing the entire press conference. He was coughing, he was gasping for air.
Finance Minister Philip Mpango, who did not reveal what he was suffering from, appeared at the press conference outside a hospital in the capital Dodoma after rumors that he had died of COVID-19.
Kabla sijafika mwisho, napenda nitumie nafasi hii na wiki mbili ambazo nilikuwa nyumbani. Ningefurahi ningeshiriki.
The coughing minister, who was not wearing a mask, was flanked by a doctor and a hospital director, both also maskless, while about 10 journalists attended the conference.
Wow. By the way, he said in that press conference that when he went in, that he went in with his oxygen cylinder. So he was on oxygen, he was on ventilator, and he was still denying that he had COVID. I'm so glad that he didn't die. He made it out of the hospital alive. I'm glad that some of the doctors were wearing masks, but I just think that Tanzania was trying way too hard to make people believe that there was no COVID in Tanzania. Well, for about 18 days now, the president has been nowhere to be found. There were speculations that he's sick, but his officials kept denying that he's sick. Later, they said he's sick, but he just had cold, and they said, well, anybody can have cold. But what kind of cold keeps a president away from the public eye for 3 weeks? You won't believe that people were being arrested, people were being jailed for saying that he had contracted COVID-19. Even people who only wrote it on Facebook and other social media platforms were being arrested. Why was the government of Tanzania so desperate to conceal the status of his health? And then on Wednesday, the vice president went on TV to announce that the president is dead. Like, just like that. The VP said he died from a heart disease. Some people said, oh, he died of heart complications. And I'm like, what kind of heart disease? What kind of heart complications? Because up until he died, there was never a report of him having any issues with his heart. Like, nothing about him suffering from heart issues. The sad thing is, when this story broke and I posted it on my social media pages, I was so surprised by what some Nigerians were saying, and I was really disappointed. Some Nigerians were saying, when would this happen in Nigeria? That's what they were. I was like, wow, Nigerians, you have a better martial law. Now, if you ask me, and this is just my opinion, I may be right, I may be wrong, but if you ask me, I think he died of COVID. I think he died of COVID. And as a matter of fact, there had been several reports that the man had died about 72 hours before they made it public. People had been saying in Tanzania that the president was dead, but they refused to announce. You know, my point is, he didn't need to die. If he had taken the necessary precautions, I don't think that he would have died. Honestly, I'm so mad right now because this makes me really mad. Because when I heard that he's been missing for weeks, my first thought was that the man had COVID, but he could not admit it because he had denied that COVID was real. And I was actually praying that he would make it, just so that he could come back and tell his people, guys, I was wrong all along, let's take the necessary measures, and he would have saved so many lives. Because as it is right now, he has already led so many people to believe that COVID is not real. You just need to pray it away. That's what he's been saying. And so many people will not believe that he died of COVID. In fact, I won't be surprised if in the comment section I see people writing things like, oh, he must have been killed by the West because he didn't believe in COVID, or because he didn't take the vaccine, they must have intentionally infected him. Oh, please. Oh, please. I honestly don't think that anybody from the West had time to go and be infecting him just to prove what point. Let's not forget that about a month ago, last month, one of their vice presidents, the vice president of Zanzibar, which is where people go for vacation in Tanzania, he died of COVID, and they made it public that he tested positive for COVID-19 and he died shortly after. So for someone of that caliber to have died, a whole vice president, please, I don't think we should be deceiving ourselves, because it wasn't long after that the president now finally admitted that, you know, COVID is real, and I think we have a COVID problem in Tanzania. For the first time since this thing started, since last year, for the first time he admitted that there's COVID problem. So a vice president died last month, and now the president died this month, and now they are telling us that it is heart complications. Seriously? By the way, there were reports that he was flown to Kenya for treatment. Some Kenyan media were saying that there's a president from another country, from an East African country, getting treated for COVID in Kenya, but they didn't say who it is. So it's possible that they took him to Kenya for treatment. I don't know. But some other people are reporting that he died in his own country. I just want to know what you guys think about this, because this is the same way the president of Burundi died. You guys remember we reported that on this show as well. That one also did not believe in COVID. In fact, he sent the World Health Organization packing. He sent them out of Burundi just because he didn't believe in COVID. He refused to put any measures in place. And then his wife contracted COVID and he flew her to Kenya for treatment. I don't know why he didn't go with her to Kenya for treatment, because if you're sleeping on the same bed, chances are you probably contracted it too. But it was only for him to die before her return from Kenya. Don't forget that the president of Burundi also declared fasting and prayer in his country before he died. Does that mean that when you are Christians, you should not take medication, or you should not take vaccines, or you should not take injections? Does that mean that you don't have faith when you believe in science? Because let's not forget that it's God that gave the knowledge and the wisdom that scientists have. Nobody is forcing anybody to take COVID vaccines. But if you think people are not dying, maybe you just haven't met people that are related to those that have been killed by COVID. I have. And you know, I'm so mad right now that he died, because he didn't need to die. He was only 61. He was strong. We've seen videos of him. He was healthy this whole time. Let me know what you guys think about this. I just feel terrible for his family members, because he didn't need to die. I'm really sorry for his family members, honestly. The vice president of Tanzania has declared a 14-day mourning period for the president. So our heart goes out to the people of Tanzania. We're sorry that your president passed away, because I honestly believe he didn't need to die. The main question now is all the people that have been arrested for saying that the president had COVID, for reporting that he's dead, will those people be released? But let me know what you guys think about this. You guys not know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. And speaking of vaccines, how is it possible that some Nigerians are making fake COVID-19 vaccines? How can we be so wicked? NAFDAC is saying that people should be careful, because believe it or not, fake COVID-19 vaccine is now in circulation in Nigeria. Seriously, so many countries have been taking these vaccines for months now. I don't know of any other country where people are making fake vaccines. I mean, we're condemning the government in Nigeria, but we're doing worse to ourselves. Whoever is doing this, or the people that are doing this, they should please please let it stop. So I can't believe that it's happening in Nigeria. Maybe it's happening elsewhere, I just don't know about it. But I'm just so disappointed that Nigerians, why do we like to spoil our own market? And speaking of vaccines, by the way, I noticed that the last time that I announced that Nigeria has received some COVID-19 vaccines, and I was excited, I saw in the comment section that some people were offended. And then some people even said that I was sent by the West to push their agenda to depopulate Africa. Others said that I'm an agent of darkness. So I thought I should address that, just so you know that I see your comments, you know. So before I move on, by the way, that particular episode, I was so excited that Nigeria got vaccines that I didn't realize that it's the AstraZeneca vaccine, which I do know that some European countries have suspended based on reports of blood coagulation, blood clots in some people that received that particular type of vaccine. So if our government could please get us another type of vaccine, that would be great. I thought I should straighten that out. Or like I've been saying for months now, it may be time for us to start developing our own vaccines, since we have the brain, the manpower, the expertise to develop all kinds of things, except for the resources needed, of course. So it may be time for us to make our own vaccines. The only problem is it won't happen overnight, and we still have to survive during the pandemic first. But the truth of the matter is, if we don't do anything, by the time another pandemic happens, we will still be where we are right now, which is why we need to start doing something. That's why I keep talking about this. Keep in mind, though, that the World Health Organization, for now, they are saying that the benefit of the AstraZeneca vaccine outweighs its risk, and so they recommend that the vaccination should continue. So it's now left for each country to decide what they want. They are not forcing it on anyone, so it's not like they are forcing it on us in Nigeria. We can decide what we want. Now, the vaccine that we got was the one that World Health Organization arranged for poor countries. The other option is for us to buy our own and manage, which will be maybe Pfizer, and manage it, which requires like cold temperature, and it's like $10 a piece. Money that I know that Nigerian officials are not ready to spend on any Nigerian. $10. You think they're ready to spend $10 on you? That is why they will go for the cheaper one. And that is why I've been saying it is time that we need to start making our own. Now back to what I was saying. For most people, the issue is not even the type of vaccine that they're getting, but it just seems like some people just don't believe in taking the vaccine at all, and they have all kinds of reasons.
I will take it.
I don't think I'm going to be vaccinated.
I will take it.
I'm not going to accept the vaccine.
It's going to keep us healthy, why not?
I will take it. I cannot take it.
Wow, okay, so they believing in herbs.
I will not go into any other thing apart from the herb I know from my village.
Okay, and then there are some people who believe that it's a population control method and that the West is trying to control the population of Africa.
Don't think that I will participate in taking the vaccine, because there is a rumor going on that the vaccine is merely to reduce the population of Africa entirely in general. So for me, I don't really give trust, 100% trust to the vaccine.
And then of course there are those who are looking at it from the religious angle, and they believe that this is the end of the world, and they are just opposing it because of religious beliefs.
I can't accept the COVID-19 vaccine because we have had several diseases and virus coming out, and they couldn't give us a vaccine for it. And my papa from Living Faith has already told us that once we bless an anointed oil and take it, there's no way the coronavirus can come to us or affect us.
Oh wow. And then of course, some people just believe the conspiracy theories around the vaccine.
I will take it, but then not immediately. You know, we've already been hearing about the conspiracies around the vaccine and all the rest, you know. And no matter who you are, you might want to exercise some restraint to actually see if maybe the theories or the stories around it are true or false.
Wow. And then of course there are people who still don't believe that COVID exists. And if it exists, these people believe it's just for the rich people.
I don't know whether COVID-19 day for this Nigeria. But if it dey, no go be our all these people and then go carry, no be our function in Jesus' name. If you come our leader and then go first take am before us, we take it.
Okay. By the way, keep in mind that not everybody believes these things. There are people who are open to taking the vaccines. There are people that are taking the vaccines, even in Nigeria.
It's going to keep us healthy, why not? I don't really believe that it's 666, as people say.
They are kicking against the vaccine, that they are not going to take it, that it is linked to 5G or something. So I don't know, but if I can afford it, I will take it.
So like I said, people have all kinds of reasons why they don't believe in taking the vaccine. Now, before I say anything else, I just want to say up front that first of all, I am not saying that anyone should take the vaccine by fire by force. I'm not forcing the vaccine on anyone. It is not my job. It is your life. It is your choice. You get what I'm saying? However, we've been taking vaccines now for centuries. And I know I've addressed this in previous episodes. We have vaccines for all kinds of illnesses, all kinds of diseases. Measles, rubella, hepatitis, polio, chickenpox, yellow fever, rabies, and so on and so forth. So why is this particular one being demonized? Is what I don't understand. Is it because it's coming from other parts of the world? Because all these other ones that I listed also came from other parts of the world. Nobody had any issues with taking them. And if that's the problem, why are we not making our own vaccines in Africa? I've been asking this for months. Some people think I'm making fun of Africa. No, I'm not. I am saying it is time we start developing our own vaccines. Or is it because it was rushed, which is a legitimate reason? But you also have to understand that in the last 1 year, more than 2.6 million people have died of COVID. Hence why they were trying to find a solution ASAP. And I guess for those of us living abroad, like in the US, for example, our attitude is different because, like I said, we were more affected, not just with the death toll, but the job loss. And also we see so many companies close down here in America, close down permanently, went out of business because of COVID. Anyway, so people have all kinds of reasons why they don't want to take it. But the one that I still don't understand is when they come from the religious angle. And I just have a question. How come God has no issues with all the other vaccines that the West came up with that we've been getting, except for this one? Maybe someone can kindly explain. In fact, why is it that we do take medicine at all when we're sick? And do you know there are so many religious leaders who have been saying vaccine is good, there's nothing wrong with vaccine, people should take the vaccine. So is it a matter of who says? Why can't we? Is it that we ourselves are no longer thinking for ourselves? Do we just have to go by what religious leaders say? I'm not against any religious leader. I'm just saying, when do we make our own decisions, especially in situations like this? By the way, for those who are saying that coronavirus is just for the rich, I know people who are not rich that have died from this virus in Nigeria, and it breaks my heart. The other time I was telling you that some hospitals are now neglecting people because they don't have the right gadget. It's because I know people personally that have died because they were neglected in Nigerian hospitals. But of course, I don't want to say too much about this because then again, people think I'm trying to force them to take the vaccine. No, not at please. It's your life, like I said. Do it the way you feel like it's best for you. But I still think that we should talk about this. That's why I'm bringing it up again. So I'm really looking forward to sitting down to read your comments about it. I just want to be enlightened. Enlighten me about why you think that people should take this vaccine, or why you think it's demonic, or whatever your excuse is. I just want us to dialogue. That's why I'm talking about this yet again. Like I said, you don't have to take it. I'm not saying anybody should take it. So now to the main story of the day. Moving on to Enugu, my people. I'm sure you must have heard by now that the lawmakers in Enugu were trying to pass a bill that would allow live pensions to former governors and their wives. Ooh, live. My brother, please break it down.
The now arrested bill guarantees a lifetime annual basic salary for former governors. It also makes provision for house maintenance allowance, salary for 5 domestic staff, 3 vehicles to be replaced every 4 years, and free medical services.
Okay, I think I need some water. Anybody like?
There is a 12 million naira annual medical allowance for wives of former governors and 6 million naira for wives of former deputy governors.
How much again for the wives? Just the wives?
There is a 12 million naira annual medical allowance for wives of former governors and 6 million naira for wives of former deputy governors.
Enugu. All of my friends from Enugu, I didn't know you guys have this kind of money. It's not fair. Wow. Anyway, I'm so glad that Nigerians pushed back. They were like, nope. And guess what? The bill has now been suspended, but they said it will still be looked at again. My people, we have to keep an eye on the Enugu Assembly so they don't secretly pass this bill. You get what I'm saying? Because now they said it will still be revisited. Can you imagine these people with everything that is going on in the country right now? This is what they are thinking about. life pension for ex-governors and their wives. Is the wife a public servant? I don't know. I'm so confused. Like, seriously, Enugu people, you know, I didn't know you have this kind of money. When other states are cancelling pensions for former governors, you guys remember we've talked about that. Kwara State has done that. Lagos State is thinking about it. So some other states are also talking about it. Enugu wants to be, like, seriously, that's just, let me know what you guys think about this, because I'm just like, I'm done. Like, we're trying to fix the country, but some people are deliberately trying to destroy the same country at the same time. Let me know what you guys think about what's happening in Enugu State. You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it raw. Alright, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, we're watching you on Plasma TV. Press the subscribe button. Until next time, I will see you all later. Peace out.